Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome to the Seed Ambassadors Project video on how to process mustard seed. The Seed Ambassadors Project is a not-for-profit organization that promotes seed saving and seed stewardship for resilient gardeners and resilient gardens and resilient cultures. Behind me, we have some mustard. This mustard isn't quite ready to harvest yet. You want all of your brassica mustard family plants to have the seed pods be incredibly dry before you harvest them. This one has some pods that are really dry. We want the pods to just break apart when you touch them and drop their seeds all over, so you don't have to plant it next year. Some of these pods, though, are still really wet and plump, and the seeds inside aren't quite ready yet. So we're going to give this one a couple more days to dry down, and until then, we're going to process some other mustard that we saved from a different location. We like to use Rubbermaid totes to harvest our seed into, but you can also use a 5-gallon bucket. So you're gonna cut your branches so it's just the part with the seed stalks on it into your tote, and it's really good to work over a tarp because you might make a mess. Make sure your shoes are clean and get in your tote and get your groove on, or you can stomp around, you know, whatever you feel like doing. If the seeds are dry enough, it doesn't take very much. So, I'm gonna stop now. Clean your shoes off, step out. The next step is called scalping, and basically it just is removing the larger debris. So, give it a little shake and put it on this tarp. Mustard greens are really delicious to eat in the winter time. This variety is called Green and Snow. It's the only green that we had that grew this whole winter. Fed us lots of good nutrients. It's really good in salad, it's really good cooked, and it's really good to have in the winter garden. So after you scalp, you're going to have a lot of the chaff in there, and underneath the chaff you're going to have a lot of seeds. So there's a couple of things you can do at this point. One thing we do sometimes is use our handy kitchen colander and give it a little bit of a sift. But to move this along, I'm just going to try and give it a shake. Most of the seeds should get down to the bottom, and just grab those things off the top as well. So most brassicas, you need to have a good size population because for healthy plants they need to have some genetic variability. With the mustards, though, you only need maybe a dozen or so. I think we probably had 3 dozen of this mustard. And we're gonna have a lot of seed. So the next step is winnowing, and hopefully the breeze cooperates, but if it doesn't, you can use a fan or someone behind you with a palm frond. And you're gonna be pouring from a small container into a larger container. For the first one, it's good to pour into your tote or your bucket because you're going to have a lot of the chaff still in there, and it needs a lot more space to blow away than the smaller debris. The seeds are a lot more dense and they should just fall straight down. Usually you have to do this step a couple of times. This is another reason it's good to work over a tarp, because if the breeze is variable, you might get caught off guard and lose a lot of seeds if you're not ready for it. So, wow. There's so many seeds in here. So we're gonna do this one time in smaller containers, shorter distance. Lots of garden vegetables have dry seed, so the process is going to be really similar if you're saving seed from lettuce or from cilantro or from other salad greens, spinaches. Just cut the stalks off, do a little dance, do a little winnow. So if you look into my container now, it's there's definitely still some junk in there, and I'll probably winnow this a few more times, but there's also hundreds of thousands of really excellent, beautiful mustard seeds. This is only a small portion of what you can get with a couple dozen mustard plants. So, for more information about the Seed Ambassadors Project, go to seedambassadors.org and continue to check into our YouTube channel as we process more seed throughout the season. Thanks a lot.